Welcome back, and now we're looking at fixing a property, and this is our fourth step in the five-step process of property flipping. Now, a property flipper needs to be able to renovate a dwelling as quickly as possible once they settle on the property to minimise their holding costs. And that's what it's all about. It's about delivering quick, efficient renovation and not being held up, because there are always hidden items that pop up. So you want to make sure your overall renovation is well, the scope of works is built well, the timeline's well scheduled, and that it's not going to impact you if there is a little bit of a hold up with something that's hidden, because you've already made sure you're as efficient as possible. Now, in regards to the fixed portion of property flipping, there's three parts. Let's jump into the scope of works. And the scope of works is all about walking through a property, building the tasks and the jobs that need to be completed to move it from unrenovated to renovated, or whatever sale price you're looking at chasing, and being able to allocate that out to the trades so they can quote on it and give you reasonably accurate pricing. Now, we want to make sure that our scope of works is as accurate as possible to ensure we're completing the property in a timely manner with a minimal cost increase above our projected renovation budget. As part of our feasibility, we want to make sure we have a reasonably accurate renovation budget. And we do put a 10% contingency on top of our renovation budget, just in case, but you want to make sure you're nailing pretty much everything that you need to do in the original scope of works. Now, the scope of works can be as detailed and large as what you like, or as small as you like, depending on what type of level of renovation you're going to do. Now, when I walk into a property, there's three different types of renovations I'm looking at. The quick tidy up, just getting it tidied up, getting it back on the market because I can buy it low enough to do that. A partial renovation, and this could be something where I say, you know what, I'm just going to change over the countertop and paint the doors and the handles in the kitchen. I'm going to do a paint, flooring, lighting, window coverings, and then I'm just going to leave the bathrooms and the wet areas because they're serviceable, and in that area it just makes sense not to push my price too high due to the buyer budgets. Or maybe it is a full renovation because that area rewards renovated homes. So you know based off that you need to decide on what kind of renovation you're going to do. Now, the five most important items to complete in any renovation that add value include your kitchen renovation, your bathroom renovation, your painting, flooring, and then landscaping and mulch. Because you always want to make sure outside looks just as welcoming as inside. However, I did just say then, didn't I, that there's properties with partial renovations that I actually don't do the bathrooms. So again, these five items need to be considered depending on what type of area you're in, what type of property you're doing, and what the final sale price is going to be. So depending on what the final sale price is going to be will guide you in what level of renovation the flipper would complete. And you might say to me, well, Damien, how do I know? Well, I look at two things really. I look at what the comparable sales are, what condition they are delivering in terms of price. And then I want to know what the budgets are for that suburb. If I know that generally I'm going to be able to sell something really quickly and for top dollar just doing a partial renovation because it falls into the right price segment in that suburb, well, I'm going to aim for that. Whereas if it's an area where it rewards full renovation, I'm going to spend the extra money. So every property and suburb is going to be different. Now let's look at the renovation timeline. So once we've built the scope of works and we know what we're going to do in that renovation, we want to make sure then we're as professional as we can be so that we can understand the timeline that we're going to actually put that scope of works together and get completed and set up to be the most desirable option. So we're as quick as possible with the lowest level of budget. So the timeline is always going to be organised by what you're getting completed, because if you're doing a full renovation, you can't have all the trades walking on top of each other. They are going to need time to get their part done before the next person's scheduled and come in. So we need to make sure that the scope of works is going to be broken down into tasks, given to the appropriate trades, so we can then get them scheduled and they can get themselves scheduled to complete the tasks that they need to complete before the next trade comes in. Remember, property flipping, it's a team game. It's not someone doing one thing. We're scheduling enough time for all the works to be completed before they pass the baton on to the next trade that's coming in. Now, let's discuss something that brings all of this together, the renovation project management. So to ensure you get delivery of the best possible outcome, we need to make a decision on who's actually looking after the important task of the renovation, and that's the project management of it. The Flipper's got a number of options we can do in regards to this, and it depends on what your unique situation is or what you're looking to do. Are you looking to do it yourself? Are you looking to visit the site every couple of days or once a week to check on progress? Are you hiring a project manager who visits once a week or a couple of days over the week? Or are you hiring a full-time project manager who looks after everything? You literally give them the budget, the timeline, they go and get it scheduled, look after all the trades and make sure it's delivered on time and on budget. So this decision will be important to ensure the work's completed on time, but also to the required standard, and that required standard is signed off before invoices are paid. So working with your coach to build your property flipping business the way you want it to be, to ensure you're creating the lifestyle that you want through property. So based off what you're looking for may not be what I'm looking for, and you want to make sure that you're building the business and setting it up correctly for what you are wanting to do. Now let's look at this case study here in Gooseberry Hill in Perth, one of the hills in the eastern part of Perth, about 35 minutes from the city. We've got Gooseberry Hill. This property was a 4x2 on almost 2,000 square metres. A large hills house that was on a large block, been sitting vacant for many years after both parents were taken into care and passed away. The agent listed the property. Someone I'd spoken to previously about this pre-market opportunity, which we managed to secure against 2 other buyers. And you've quite a lot of the time you find with these pre-market opportunities, your competition a lot of the time is builders. So you just need to be aware that you're comfortable in regards to your renovation team and being able to offer the best price you can against people who are professional builders. So we purchased this one for $820,000. It was a $125,000 renovation, and it sold for $1.13 million. So again, you can see quite a large disparity there, that we bought it at the right price to be able to invest money and bring it up to standards. This was an 80s build. It's while it looks quite nice now, it's just a different looking house compared to what's in the area, and it's on a large block as well. So as we can see here in the lounge room, all the furniture was still there when we went in. It's definitely got some damage and bits and pieces that are falling apart. And look what it changed to. Nice, new, fresh, and welcoming. Same with the kitchen. Here we are, the older style kitchen. The U-shape, very small, very claustrophobic. And we opened it up to be a magnificent, chef's kitchen with the ability, as you see there, from where the ovens and the gas cooktop are, to look outside and enjoy the view of the city. So there you are, there's just another, and this renovation here, this one in particular, we project managed this and worked in it, but that's just what we do. It doesn't mean that's what someone else has to do. There's so many options. Just make sure that no matter what way you go, what way it gets project managed, that you've got someone there checking the work, making sure it's correct before the invoices are paid. And that's the way you're always going to deliver the right standard to hand over to the agent to get the property sold. The last thing you want is to hand over a poor standard that you've paid for, and that's going to cause your final sale price to go down. Alright, I hope that helps with just the feeling of the renovation and building your scope of works with the renovation timeline, and then how it gets managed, who you decide to look after the project management of it. Let's jump onto Flip and talk about selling the property. I'll see you there.